Hello viewers and welcome. Today we have a very important lesson in English grammar, that is non-finite verbs. When you speak and when you write, you will require to use these. When you listen to somebody or when you read something, you will find the use of non-finite verbs. The word non-finite means that they do not function as verbs. Although they are verbs, but they do not do the function of a verb. They function as some other part of speech, not a verb. A verb which functions as a verb we call as finite verb. Finite means that which can be defined as a verb. It does the function of a verb. Non-finites do not do the function of a verb. In this first slide which you can see, we have the forms in which the non-finite verb can occur. The first is to plus verb, the verb form. Suppose you take the verb speak, then its infinitive is to speak. That we call as the root form. I have explained this in great detail in lexical verb chapter number 1, video number 1. We also derive from the infinitive, which is the root. From this root, all the verb forms are derived. We derive the present participle. The verb, if you add ing to it, remove to, which is the infinitive form, add ing, it becomes a present participle. All verbs have ing, present participle. Suppose I gave you the verbs to speak, that is infinitive. Speaking is the present participle. Now we have in past participle, you have two different forms. Any verb which ends with ed in the past tense and past participle is called a regular verb. Any verb which does not follow this rule, you see the symbol I have put that it is different. And this is what is an irregular verb, because we don't know what the past participle will be. It doesn't follow a rule. For instance, I gave you to speak. The past tense is spoke and the past participle is spoken. Whereas you take the verb to work, W-O-R-K. Work past tense is worked. Past participle is also worked, ed. Therefore, we have no difference, and that is a regular verb, whereas in the speak, spoke, spoken, irregular form has a different past participle. We cannot predict by looking at the verb what the past participle will be. Now let us move to, you have seen the structures. Now let us move to their function. Non-finite verbs appear like verbs, but they function as noun and adjective. Details of which functions as a noun and which as an adjective I will give you later. Now let us see this passage, a very simple passage which will tell you how important and how commonly the non-finite forms are used. You will find that the non-finite forms are underlined. Behind them in brackets you find whether they are an adjective or a noun. Seeing the clouds in the sky, I wanted to leave office early. I aimed to reach my house before it started raining. Completing my work quickly, I shut down the system. Then I stopped to check the time. I realized there was still an hour before closing time. It would be better to take permission if I wanted to go early. The boss didn't like anyone leaving without asking. You see how simple the passage is, but see the number of non-finites that we have used. This does not mean that we have not used finite verbs, because no sentence in English is possible without a finite verb. Look at the first line, I wanted. Wanted is the finite verb. Next line, I aimed. Aimed is the finite verb. Then you have it started. Started is the finite verb. Then you have the next line, I shut. Shut is the finite verb. Next line, I stopped. Stopped is the finite verb. Again, same line, I realized. Realized is a finite verb. Then you have the next one, it would be. Would be is the finite verb. Next line, I wanted. Wanted is the finite verb. Next, same line, the boss didn't like. Didn't like is the finite verb. These are all finite, but we are worried about the non-finite forms. Where the non-finite form, either ing or to plus verb, that is present participle or to infinitive, is followed immediately by a noun, we call it as an adjective. Look at the word seeing. Seeing has the noun clouds behind it, so it's an adjective. Next, look at to leave. To leave immediately followed by office, which is a noun, so it's an adjective. Then you have to reach my house. House is a noun, to reach becomes an adjective. Then you have the word raining. Raining does not have a noun behind it. Raining is doing the work of a noun. Therefore, this ing form is a noun. Completing my work quickly. Completing ing form is followed by work, which is a noun. Therefore, it is an adjective. I shut down the system. Then I stopped to check the time. Time is noun, therefore to check is an adjective. I realized there was still an hour before closing time. Now closing is preceded, it is coming in front of noun time. So again, adjective. It would be better to take permission. To take is followed by a noun, permission. So again, it's an adjective. If I wanted to go early, to go is a noun because early is an adverb, early is an adjective. You don't have to worry about that. It is I wanted, and then you have the object. That object is a noun function where you use to go. The boss didn't like anyone leaving. Again, leaving, no noun behind it. So it's a noun usage without asking. Again, without asking. Asking has no noun behind it. So it does the function of a noun. You have seen how non-finites are used. These are simple forms. Now let us see the 4 types which we have in them. We are going to talk about 4 types. The first one is the gerund. The gerund is the present participle, verb plus ing. It is always used in a sentence as a noun. Either as a subject or as an object, it can be used as a noun. In the earlier passage, you saw many gerunds being used wherever the noun ing form was used as the noun. Leaving and, all those words, raining, all that was gerund. Here I have given you some examples. She enjoys singing. Now, she is the subject, enjoys is verb. Since it is a transitive verb, we cannot end the sentence without a noun. So, the noun is singing. Although it's a verb, singing is a verb, but it is functioning as a noun, gerund. Children love painting. Now, children subject, love verb. Again, it is a transitive verb, so children love what? Sentence is incomplete unless you put an object, and therefore painting. Gardening is my hobby. Here it is acting as a subject. Here object, here subject. Gardening is my hobby, the name of your hobby. Reading helps improve your English. Reading again is used as the noun, subject of the sentence. Walking is good for health. Walking is here used not as a verb but as a noun. That is the function of a gerund. You have to remember that gerunds are very important, very commonly used in English. Participle is the second variety. Now in participle there are two types. So I have made two different slides, but the function is just the same. Participle is used as an adjective. It might be a present participle, or the next slide will show you it might be the past participle. Whether it is the present participle or the past participle, used as an adjective in a sentence, we call it as a participle. Like we call the noun as a gerund, here the adjective form is called as participle. It might be ing or it might be ed or some changed form in irregular verbs. The function remains the same, adjective. So we call it as one time. Gerund is always a noun function. Participle is always an adjective function. But participle has two types, present and past. Therefore, both are adjective functions, as you will see in these sentences. Watching the match in the stadium was very exciting for the spectators. Watching, immediately followed by noun match. So it becomes an adjective. It doesn't remain a noun because you cannot put noun and noun side by side. Watching and match cannot come in this order if watching is a noun. So here it is an adjective. She wanted to participate in the dancing competition. Again, competition is the noun, dancing is the adjective, the description. Taking the file, he went to the manager. Now, file is the noun, so taking becomes adjective. This group of workers has been sent for cleaning the roads. Roads is the noun. Cleaning cannot be the noun, therefore it's adjective. I found our cat chasing a rat. Now here you have rat, the noun, chasing becomes adjective. Farmers are busy sowing seeds. Now here you have seeds, which is the noun. Adjective sowing is describing that noun. Therefore, it is the participle being used, the present participle being used as an adjective. Now let us see how the past participle is also used as an adjective. The past participle in a regular verb is verb plus ed, like loved, educated, abandoned, tired. These are all ed forms. Whereas broken and torn are participles. They are past participles, but they do not follow the ed pattern. They are irregular. Break, broke, broken. Tear, tore, torn. These are the form. And then you have also the use, which is an adjective use. So you have sentences. He is a much loved person. So person is the noun and the word loved is not a verb here because verb is already there, is. Much loved is hyphenated. So here you are using the adjective form. I met many educated people at the conference. Educated qualifies the noun people. Therefore, it is an adjective. The abandoned house may have some ghosts. House is the noun and abandoned past participle describes the house. Boys who were playing here were blamed for the broken glass. Glass is the noun, broken is the adjective. Can you mend this torn cloth? Torn is the past participle which qualifies the noun cloth. The tired travelers wanted to take rest. Now the word tired can be used as an adjective also, but here it is the tired used participle usage, past participle used as an adjective. These are the sentences. So we have studied that gerund is a noun form, participle is an adjective form, but it has two different varieties, present participle and past participle. Now let us move to the infinitive, which has both functions. The infinitive, as I told you, is to plus verb. It can be used both as a noun and as an adjective. So we shall see, that is type number 3 and 4. Gerund, only noun. Participle, only adjective, but present and past participle. Infinitive, both noun and adjective. Here are examples of the infinitive being used as a noun. You find it either as a subject of a verb, which is a finite verb, or you find it as the object of a verb, which is a finite verb. So when it comes in a subject or object position, the to plus verb acts as a non-finite form. We call it as the infinitive, but the function is the noun. Now look at the sentences. To wait seems useless now that it is so late. So the verb in the sentence is seems. That is the main verb. This is a subordinate verb because it is joined by the conjunction that. So we are not worried about this verb. This verb requires a subject, and the subject is a noun, but it is not a noun at all. It is an infinitive form, that is non-finite. So to wait is the noun usage of non-finite. We like to travel. Now we like is the finite verb. It is a verb which needs an object. It is not complete in itself. So we call this as a transitive verb. And that transitive verb requires an object, which we have here. If you want to know more about transitive and intransitive verbs, there are a couple of videos already on the channel. So to travel is the object. Only nouns can act as object. So to travel infinitive becomes non-finite noun usage. Everyone requested him to speak. Now here, requested verb, finite verb, to speak is the object. Now here we have two objects. This is called indirect object and this is the direct object. Requested to speak. So again, noun usage. The athlete trained hard to succeed. So trained is the verb, to succeed is the object. For hard is of course describing how he trained, whereas to succeed is the noun form. Why did he train? He trained because he wanted to succeed. The thief tried to escape. Now tried is the verb. It requires an object. To escape is the object. Now here is a very famous English saying. It's a very old, very famous saying. I wanted to use it to show you infinitive as a noun. To err is human. To err means to make mistakes. Is human. The verb is to err subject. Human. So human beings make mistakes. If you make a mistake, then you are human. To forgive, divine. But if you forgive someone, then you are like God. That is, forgiveness is so great. But both of them use to err and to forgive as the infinitive non-finite usage, and that is used as a noun. This is the last of our slides, which gives you the final type of non-finite verb which we can use. That is the to infinitive, which is used as an adjective. So the difference between the earlier examples and this example is that instead of the to infinitive acting as a subject or object, it acts as a qualifier for a noun. So it has to immediately have a noun behind it. Now look at the sentences. The zookeeper is here to feed the tiger. Tiger is the object. To feed is the adjective qualifying tiger. Do not try to break the routine. The routine is the noun. To break qualifies that, and therefore it's an adjective. We agreed to help Raj. Raj is the noun. To help, to infinitive, non-finite form doing the work of an adjective. To read books is a good habit. Books is the noun. To read qualifies that. Therefore, non-finite usage as an adjective. You must get someone to sweep the floor. Floor is the noun. To sweep qualifies the noun, and therefore it's an adjective. Non-finite to infinitive form as an adjective. He brought a gift to give the child. The child is the noun. To give qualifies that, and therefore it is an infinitive, a non-finite to plus verb used as an adjective. I hope this is clear. Already finite, non-finite verbs video is there, but since many of you have been asking for more of this, I have prepared today's video. Please watch, share with everybody who wants to learn good and correct English. It is not enough to speak English fluently full of mistakes. You begin with mistakes, but don't end your life with mistakes. As you go forward, make your English better and better. I wish you all the best, and I hope you will use the non-finite forms whenever you speak and write. Whenever you comment on the channel also, you can make sentences using both finite and non-finite verbs. Thank you.